Hello everyone, this is the video on functions in sequence and parallel. So this is nearing the last of our basic coding concepts, and let's get started with the presentation. Functions in sequence and parallel, basic coding concepts. You can watch the video on YouTube or click Get Started to begin. So once again, this comes with a student workbook. If you put this as an assignment, the students can remix it and code by connecting the blocks together for all three of the challenges. So let's get started. So let's review. Functions in sequence are a set of functions or actions that must be completed in order, one after another. Functions in parallel are a set of functions or actions that occur at the same time. If you need a review of what are functions in sequence, and functions in parallel, click on the green buttons to be redirected to those stories. Otherwise, click See Example to begin. So let's take a look at our first example. Coding challenge example. Click on the Start button to begin. Write down the instructions for what happens on this page. Okay, are we ready? Pay attention. I'm going to click on the Start button. Now, once upon a time, there was a fox who loved to sing. I sing even better than birds. Do we get that? Write down the instructions of what happens first and then what happens next. You can pause here if you want. And I'm going to click on See Answer to see the answer. So there are a couple things happening on this page. First, the pink sentence at the bottom, once upon a time there was a fox who loved to sing, appears at the same time that the voiceover is playing. Then, the speech bubble, I sing even better than birds, fades in with its own voiceover. Click on Start Coding to check out how we code this. Let's start coding. Let's break it down and take the first part. So, when I click on the Start button, I want to do two things at the same time. I want to play the recorded sound, once upon a time, and I want to fade in the text, once upon a time, at the same time. So this is functions in parallel. How do we connect the blocks together? So remember, when we have functions in parallel and we want two things to happen at the same time, the pro tip is to put those two functions on top of each other, like so. So play record sound and fade are going to be on top of each other because we want them to occur at the same time. And they both have to be connected to the same block. Okay, are you ready to see the answer? I'm going to click See Answer. Let's break it down and take the first part. So, when I click on the Start button, I want to do two things at the same time. I want to play the recorded sound, once upon a time, and I want to fade in the text, once upon a time, at the same time. So this is functions in parallel. How do we connect the blocks together? So how do we connect the second part of the blocks together? Let's take a look. Now let's add the second step. We now need to make the speech bubble I sing fade in and have the voiceover play at the same time. How do I connect my blocks together so that these two functions happen after the narration is done playing? So let's think. What do I want to finish first before I play these two functions at the same time? You can pause here if you need more time. And let's see the answer. Take a look at the first play record sound. It's the one that has sound is narration. You'll notice that there are two connections coming off of the right-hand side triangle. This is because we want the second play record sound and the fade to happen after the first recorded sound is done playing. I've added some rectangles to help visualize this. The rectangle that is red is our first step, and the rectangle that is yellow is what happens next. It's step 2. Do we see that? So we're going to go left to right. First, we do whatever is inside of the red rectangle. And then after the play record sound is done, then we do these two functions at the same time, whatever is inside the yellow rectangle. So, are we ready to start our coding challenges? Let's begin. Are you ready? Can you solve all 3 coding challenges? Click on challenge 1 to begin. Coding challenge number 1. Click on the start button to begin. Write down the instructions on this page. So, are you ready? I'm going to click on the start button now.
Did you see that? I can't believe that that monster exists.
Do we get that? I'm going to reset it. And let's try it again. Ready, set, go.
Did you see that? I can't believe that that monster exists.
So what are the instructions we are telling our computer? What happens first, and then what happens next? Let's take a look at coding challenge number 1 one last time. Ready, set, go.
Did you see that? I can't believe that that monster exists.
Okay, let's try to code it now. Can you figure out how to connect the blocks together? What happens first and what happens second? Finally, what happens at the same time? So, how do you think we connect our blocks together? Okay, let's take a look at the answer now. The code to coding challenge number 1 is as follows. When I click on the start button, I want to play the recorded sound and fade in. Did you see that? At the same time. After my play recorded sound is finished, I want to have another recorded sound play. This one will say, "I can't believe that that monster exists," and the speech bubble will also fade in at the same time. So don't forget, you have to select the recorded sound by clicking on select a recording or select a sound, and select the right one from the drop-down menu. If you don't select a sound, nothing will play. So let's take a look at coding challenge number 2 now. Okay, coding challenge number 2. Click on the start button and write down the instructions for the animation. Are you ready? We have some animations that are possible: idle, jump down, jump up, run, and walk. Let's take a look to see what happens. Do we get that? Let's try it one more time. Ready, set, go. 1, and one last time. Ready, set, and go. So how do we code it? Let's take a look at our blocks. Now it's time to code challenge number 2. Can you figure out how to connect the blocks together? How many connections are there? Take a look at the green function, animate. The animate block has a field animation which is set at none. When you connect the Yeti to the animate block, you can select from some animations. You can select idle, jump down, jump up, run, and walk. Which animation should be selected in each of the animate blocks? So what does the Yeti do first? What animation happens first? And then what animation happens next? So let's take a look at the answers. For coding challenge number 2, I want to click on the start button and then animate the Yeti using the idle animation for 4 seconds. Afterwards, I want to animate my Yeti using the run animation for 5 seconds. While it's running, I want to move my Yeti to the right by 1,200 pixels and also make it move for 5 seconds. This way, it looks like it's running across the page. So make sure we have selected the right animation and also select the duration. So this is 4 seconds and this is 5 seconds. And same thing with our move. We want to put 5 seconds. Are you ready for the last coding challenge? Let's take a look. It's time for our last coding challenge. Click on the start button to begin. As usual, write down the instructions for what happens on this page. Ready? set, and go. Hello, everyone. What's like your favorite thing to do? Okay, a lot of things happen on that when I clicked start. Are we ready to see it again? Ready, set, go. Hello, everyone. What's like your favorite thing to do? Okay, one last time. We're going to try the animation. Ready, set, and go. Hello, everyone. What's like your favorite thing to do? Okay, let's see if we could figure this last one out. Now it's time to code challenge number 3. How can we connect the blocks together? What functions are in sequence, happening one after another, and what functions are in parallel? Take a look at the function text_object equals value. It's the green block in the bottom right-hand corner. This function basically replaces the text of a text object. So text objects can be speech bubbles or any sort of text on your page. So by default, the value it's changing to is new text. That's not what we want, so what do we want to change new text to? So the girl says, hello everyone, and then after that, what does she say? We want to replace new text with the sentence that she says after. So let's take a look at how we can code this. If you need more time, press the pause button and let's check it out. In coding challenge number 3, I have 3 functions in parallel. So that is 3 functions happening at the same time. So when I click on the start button, I am playing a recorded sound, hello everyone, animating my character to talk, and fading in my speech bubble, hello everyone, at the same time. So the second step is after my recording, hello everyone, has finished playing, I will play the recorded sound, what's your favorite thing to do? And also change the text in bubble 0 to the value in the input. So what is your favorite thing to do? So once again, text object equals value. This function replaces the text with what is put in the value field. So if you want her to say something else, you can type in a different sentence. But of course, you might need to record your own voiceover so that the recording and the text match properly. So that's it for functions in sequence and parallel. You finished the coding challenge. So up next is loops. Click on the green button to be redirected to the story on what is a loop. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in What is a Loop next time. Bye bye.